Hey guys, welcome to A Gamer's Adventure. As you guys know, I have gotten into Magic the Gathering. I've been building decks with my experience from playing Yu-Gi-Oh! So, I built me a deck. I ran it once, it actually runs really well. It's kind of a quick fire deck, as it contains a lot of lands, 24 basic lands, and 2 added lands. Didn't have any magic things, so I had to use Pokemon. I guess they work quite well, but pretty much there's all the lands. It's 24 of them there, and plus these 2. The Dwarven Mine and Castle Emberth. Hard to see. I gotta get a better camera. I'm gonna get a 1080p camera. But them other 2, all the lands, they work quite well. With this one here, you tap 3 lands and tap this card. Creatures we get control get O+1. Now on to what makes this deck so fast is the instants. It's got a lot of instants here. It's got 11 instant cards. These 3 here are the non-repeating ones. Well, 4. Electrify. I actually have another Electrify. I gotta find out where I put it, and I'm gonna add it to this deck. But I got these 4 right here of the one-offs. I got Bombardment, which deals 4 damage. Barrage In, which gives each creature a +2/+2. Trumpet Blast, which gives a +2/+0 until end of turn, and Electrify, which does another 4 damage. Then of course we got Shock, as you guys will see in the video against my vampires. This is what actually beat me. The only thing it beat me with was he had Shock, which I have 4 of them, which deals 2 damage to any target. Nice way to knock down their life points. Of course, then I get Slaying Fire, which deals 3 damage to any target. If at least 3 red mana was spent to cast a spell, it does 4 instead. Which in this deck, all 3 of them to deal 4 damage will be amazingly good. If you get them all out in time, of course, and of course if you have the lands. But of course, those are all the instant spells that are in there. Again, the Electrify, I do have another one roaming around. I'm going to have to find it and add it to this deck. Now, as far as Sorceries, it's got a couple of them. It's got 3 of them in here. This one does 4 damage to a target creature, and these 2 control it with a 3 or less at the end till the end of turn. Untap the creature, it gains haste until the end of turn. Got 2 of them in there. I threw them in there as a, why not, just in case it ends up into a fight. But only 3 sorceries that's in here are these 3, for now. Now on to the creatures. It's got a few creatures in here, enough for it to withstand a fight. Just in case, I got 1 artifact creature. I got 3 of them. The Trebuchet. It's got reach, so it can actually attack a flying if they attack you with that. But if you tap it, it deals 1 damage to each opponent. Nice way to get some damage dealt. That's them. Then you have these 3. Some, high attacking creatures. I got 2 dragons, both of them flying. One of them has double strike, which is this one. If I'm not mistaken, which please correct me if I'm wrong, on a double strike. The double strike basically means they can attack twice per turn. This one right here is flying. It gets, for 1 fire, tap a fire, it gets a +1/+0 to the end of the turn. And this thing here, when the Terror of Mount Valus, when he enters the battlefield, creatures you control gain double strike until the end of the turn, which is a great way to really take them out. And then, of course, you got the Omnixian Blaze. You tap 3 lands, discard a card, draw a card. Not a bad little thing, especially if you have a card you can't use. Then you got them 3. Here we have the Gutter Snipe. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, he deals 2 damage to each opponent. Again, good way to get your point across. Put them in the camera. I gotta make a little thing here to show where the camera actually aims at. Got 2 of them. Now the Stampede Rider, I'm using these as kind of placeholders. They have trample, and there are 2 or 3. These are 2 2s, 5 5s, and you got a 1 3. But these are 2 3 with trample. And at the beginning of each combat, if you control a creature with a power 4 or greater, Stampede Rider gets a +1/+1 till the end of the turn. Not too terrible, not that I think. And again, there's 3 of them there to save room. I threw him in here. I'm kind of hesitant on keeping him here. Even when I played, I barely used him. He really didn't have a chance to come out, even though he's a 3 mana cost, which he gains +1 for each of my devotion to red. There's 2 of them in there, so there's a lot of red on here in order to get summoned. I'm going to save the best for last, of course. They're my favorites. A friend of mine I play with, Mark in particular, he knows who he is, doesn't like him. He thinks they're broken. I got this guy. He's a Satyr Berserker. He's a 1/1. 2 mana cost to bring out. Kind of high for a 1/1 though. There are 2 of them there. I'm using them kind of as placeholders as well. And I got this guy, the Pyromancer. He's a 2/1. When Pyromancer enters the battlefield, it deals 2 damage to target player or planeswalker. Again, good way to get your point across and to get their life points down. He costs 2 mana to bring out. That's well worth it. A little more worth it than these satyrs here. Then I got one of this guy, another satyr. It's a Irrelevant Revealers. You get to choose one of the 2. When he enters the battlefield, you choose one. You draw a target artifact, or he gains haste till the end of turn. Not terrible, I think. But again, I may take these 3 out. You know, these right here. There's 3 sets, and replace them with something better. Not really sure. So if you guys have any ideas what to replace them with, please leave your comments. I'd love to hear it. And, you know, well, I'm open to all suggestions. And the best for last. Believe it or not, this deck does not have any planeswalkers in it. But I saved the best for last. The Rekindling Phoenix. 3 mana cost, a 4/3 attack. He's a flying, so when he dies, you create a 0/1 elemental creature token with, at the beginning of your upkeep, sacrifice this creature and return Rekindling Phoenix from the graveyard. And he has haste, so he can attack straight away. Got 4 of them. This is just in case it actually turns out to be a fight at the end. But again, these 3 right here, if you guys have any ideas of what to replace these with, or something better, just please leave your comments. I'm open to hear them all. But that's the deck. It's a pretty simple deck right now. I'm sure it'll get more complicated later. It's about a 60 card deck, maybe a little more. But it ran pretty quickly, and I'm pretty happy with how it ran. But again, if you guys have any ideas whatsoever, please leave me a comment. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your day. And as always, be safe.